What's up? How are you doing today? Welcome to The Chick's Life. If you guys are new to our channel, we have been traveling full-time for 3 years roughly now, and we have circled the country multiple times. I've driven on sand at the beaches, I've driven on highway, I've driven on rough gravel roads, I've driven off-roading, all sorts of things. So I have tested all sorts of terrain, and today we're going to talk about different ways of towing. Specifically, we're going to be talking about towing with this bad boy, the Reese Goose box. Hey guys, my name's James.
And I'm Ashley.
Last year we sold our house and we're traveling across the country with our kids.
Hi, my name's Goose, and this is Maverick. Come join us.
But before we can review this bad boy, we gotta get it installed. So let's jump back in time to Central Oregon when we were at Pops and Grammy's installing this thing. But if you are not interested in seeing the install, you can skip ahead to the time code below and jump straight to the review. So before we can even get started putting on the new hitch, we have to remove the Anderson attachment right here because I just don't want it to get ruined when we take it off because it still works perfectly fine. So we're gonna remove this Anderson hitch, then we'll work on installing the new Reese gooseneck. So one of the things we're having to do differently on this one than any of the installs with the different hitches we've done in the past is I had to take off the junction box for hooking up to your truck because this was actually attached to the pin box that came stock from the factory. So what we're gonna do is put it in a place that Ken actually has his over on his fifth wheel. If you remember right, his is actually attached up inside here. So that's what we're gonna attempt to do is move this in there so that way we never have to worry about it again, whether we switch hitches or stay with this hitch or whatever. The junction box can just stay up in there tucked away and we should be good to go. Now we got the wire support, the 2 self-tapping screws from the junction box, as well as the emergency brake disconnected. There's a little problem up here. The manufacturer ran the cable directly through one of the holes in the frame that we're currently using, but we will be using for the new hitch. It never goes according to plan, guys. I got this storm in my head, a forest fire in my chest. Look at the time on the clock. I'm dead, whether you're ready or not. I'm rolling in like a train off the tracks, coming at you. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, burn it down. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, left on Saturday. Alright guys, we have run into yet another problem. As you can see, we have about a 1/2 inch gap here, so a 1/4 inch on either side, which means our new hitch needs spacer plates. Something you need to be looking into any hitch that you buy, no matter what the brand is what specific pin box your current rig has and the compatibility of the new hitch you are buying. Most of them will have spacer plates if you have a pin box like ours, which is wider than the average one, but just be sure you do that research. Thankfully, Pops Ken had a couple spacer plates lying around from his previous
hitch that he actually did not need. He bought them and didn't need them. I didn't get them and did need them. So thankfully they were the correct size after doing some research and figuring out that they would work. So we went ahead and just used his plates and continued the installation. But just be aware that make sure you do the research to figure out if you do not need the spacer plates. So this entire process may have seemed like it took forever, but it really only took about an hour to 20, hour and 30 minutes. And that's including the whole fiasco of having to remove the original hitch and running into the spacer plate issue, not to mention filming the whole thing. So if we didn't have to do any of those things, I bet we could have easily busted it out in like 30 or 45 minutes. The last step, which I did not get on camera unfortunately, was me using the torque wrench to get the bolts up to the required foot-pounds. The interesting thing about the Reese Goose box compared to your standard pin box is it only has 4 bolts instead of 6, but they are grade 8 bolts and you have to tighten them all the way up to 210 foot-pounds, which is just an insane amount of torque.
All right, now that it is installed, if you've been watching our channel for a while, you've seen that we traveled from Central Oregon through Washington into Idaho, and during all those travels, driving on the sand in Moses Lake, getting stuck. Come on! Boondocking out at the Folsom Farm, as well as camping at the Silverwood theme park. All 3 very different types of terrain and different types of towing. We had this guy installed. So I have sufficient, I think, experience with it to give you my feedback, let you know my pros and my cons. So first off, let's start with the pros. This thing, number 1 pro in my opinion, and I'm sure you guys might agree, is the availability of space in the bed of your truck. Traveling full-time, having a short bed truck, space is at a premium for us. So being able to have nothing except for that little tiny goose ball in the bed of our truck has been phenomenal. I thought that the Anderson hitch was a game changer. This is even more so because unfortunately, even with the Anderson hitch, which I do love, you still need tools to install and remove it. You need that torque wrench to get it to the proper torque, that way it's safe to tow. And so that is, it's not difficult, but it still takes time. So just being able to have the bed of your truck completely open at all times is huge. So that is probably my number 1 pro of this Reese Goose box. My second one is the ability to adjust your ride to what you want, or based upon the size of your rig. Because if you're towing an 8,000 pound trailer versus a 16,000 pound trailer, you're not going to want the same stiffness in your ride. I'm going to need a lot more PSI and my rig here, which is about 14,000 pounds, than say someone that's only riding 8,000 pounds. So I have mine set up pretty high, probably around 55 PSI in here, and someone that is towing that smaller rig would probably have it down closer to 30. And so being able to adjust that ride comfort to what you want, or maybe you want a stiffer ride, you don't want it to, you know, give as much, you can have that higher PSI. So being able to adjust that to what you want is really nice. Now, if you are watching this video, you have probably done some research and you probably have heard of the Gen Y torsion hitch. And the reason I bring this up is because in my mind, that's one of the most comparable hitches out there compared to this one. They are the most closely related, and so you might be torn between the two. And I've actually reviewed that hitch as well. If you want to check out that video, I will link it up there. But the benefits of this one compared to that Gen Y torsion hitch are the adjustability of the airbag, so you can adjust it based upon your ride, because with the torsion hitch, it just is what it is. So it is that torsion, you can't adjust it. So if it's a light rig, it's not going to bounce near as much or give near as much as when you have a heavy rig. There's no adjustments. Now, that is also a con. I do have to check my airbags occasionally. If it's been sitting for a few weeks, or especially for a few months, I definitely want to get out my little PSI reader, the same thing I use on my tires. So I already had it to check to make sure that my airbags are up to where I want them to be. Because on our travels, I did have to add a little bit more air. partly because I started at a lower PSI, started around 40, and then after a few weeks it went down closer to 30, so it did lose some pressure. And so that actually brings me to one of the cons of the Reese Goose box. You do need some sort of air compressor. It doesn't have to be anything insane. It's not like you have to get up to 110 PSI like you do on some of your RV tires, but having at least a small air compressor, portable air compressor, will be needed for this, because you will need to add air to it occasionally and be able to check to make sure that you're riding where you need to be riding. Because if you are too low of PSI, like I was riding down at 30, and when I would hit my brakes, I could almost feel it bottoming out because of so much weight that I had in the rig. So because I have the bigger rig at like 14,000 pounds, I put more air in it, and once I got it up to that 50 PSI mark, which I found worked really well for me, it was super smooth as butter, which was a very weird thing to get used to, because I have towed with rigid attachments. I've towed with sliders, I've towed with a standard fifth wheel hitch, I've towed with the Anderson hitch, and all three of those, even though the slider hitch moves when you turn, it's all a rigid fixed attachment. There's no cushion flexing or anything like that. So both the torsion hitch and this Reese Goose box, they give and bounce to absorb some of that shock, and it's kind of a weird feeling to get used to at the beginning. It almost feels like something might be wrong, because I'm so used to it being like when you go over a bump, you immediately feel that bump and all the weight of the trailer pushing down on the suspension of your truck. But with this, it's almost like a delayed wave. So you go over a bump and then you feel the reaction of the airbags giving in there, which really does help smooth out the ride. It's a different feeling, but it really helps smooth out the ride and make things feel much more enjoyable while you're towing. It's just something you have to get used to. One of the things I really love about the Goose box is they have thought about the ease of being able to attach and unhook. For some hitches, you have to climb into the bed of your truck and lie down under there when you're attached to be able to put the pin in and close it. But for this, they have a very simple little pull where you can stand back here while your truck is hooked up and easily pull and release. And one of the nice things about this is you don't have to worry about accidentally leaving the pin in when you're hooking up, because as you lower it down, as you can see right here, the little lever automatically pulls back as the ball touches it and then latches underneath it. So the only time you have to worry about ever pulling this is when you want to unhook. So attached like this, and then when you want to unhook, just pull back and it stays open. It's a super simple yet ingenious little mechanism that they have built in here that some other hitches are just missing out on, but it makes a world of difference. All right, and my last con with this, really, like, I'm nitpicking at this, but my last con is having to hook up is difficult if you don't have a backup camera for the bed of your truck. A lot of the newer rigs, like 2018 and newer, have that extra camera facing down to the bed of your truck, which makes hooking up for goosenecks or even fifth wheel hitches really easy. But since ours is a 2014, we only have your standard backup camera, which is on your tailgate, so you can see for hooking up normal bumper pull trailers, but not for in the bed of your truck, which has been fine for all the other hitches in the past because they're all about 2 feet up from the bed of your truck, so you can look through your back window and see where you're attaching, whether it be a standard fifth wheel hitch that you slide into the slot, or the Anderson that had like the 6-inch ring that I just had to aim over the top. I could see the ball for all of those, but for this one it's hidden, so I have to guesstimate how far back I need to go, how centered I am. And so if you don't have a backup camera for the bed of your truck, both for this Reese and for that Gen Y hitch, it's going to be more difficult to hook up, and you're going to probably have a spotter need to help you out, or like I've had to do in the past, get out 3 or 4 times till you get exactly over the ball. Which, on a related topic, is another thing I'm frustrated about with this guy. The Anderson hitch has such an ingenious little funnel on it that turns it from a little 2-inch hole that you have to line up to more of a 6-inch hole that makes attaching so much easier. So I have reached out to Reese to see if they have or are making some sort of funnel for this, because if they are, then this is like, I have no complaints about it. Like, because honestly, hooking up is one of my biggest complaints about it. Having to check your air PSI really isn't a big deal, because if you're doing any sort of towing, you should have some sort of portable compressor already, so it's not like another expense or anything like that. So really my only complaint is being able to hook up easily without that bed backup camera. So if they respond, I will add a little caveat in right here to see whether they have something like a funnel on there like the Anderson has to make attaching easier. But other than that, I love this hitch. Another thing to be aware of if you're deciding between this hitch and say the Gen Y is the Reese Goose box is one of the only hitches that you can install like this that does not void your warranty from Lippert, which if you have a brand new rig, could be huge, because if you have any sort of issues and you bring it in and they say, oh sorry, you've voided your warranty, you could be out thousands of dollars. So that is something to be aware of. Now, if your rig is 5-10 years old, your warranty's expired already, so it's probably not something to worry about. But if you are buying new or gently used, that might be something you'd be concerned about, is voiding your frame warranty. So one thing to be aware of when you are ordering the Reese Goose box, do not make the same mistake we did with the spacer plates. Make sure you know exactly what model your pin box is when you're ordering it to see whether or not you have to order those little spacers in there, because that was really a huge headache for us, is not knowing that we needed those spacer plates caused the installation to be far more difficult than it needed to be. But that has nothing to do with the Reese Goose box, because no matter what hitch you're ordering aftermarket, you need to make sure you are ordering the proper dimensions for it, because a lot of these, the Gen Y, the Reese, all of them have spacer plates depending on what kind of pin box you have. But I would love to hear, what are your thoughts on these down below from those of you that are towed with all sorts of hitches, whether it be the Anderson, the Reese, the Gen Y. Leave a comment down below, let us know what you think. What would you decide, or what are you going to get? And until next time guys, remember, stay positive, get out there, life is an adventure, so make some memories.
Next time on The Chick's Life. Things aren't going exactly according to plan with our next stop. The girls have some horse fun with their aunties, and we celebrate America's Independence Day. We'll see you guys next time on The Chick's Life.